What is your biggest takeaway of just the 4 games yesterday? What was the biggest takeaway, I think, of the whole night? Was it the Knicks advancing? Was it the Bucks being a 1 seed, being bounced? Lakers losing in a Game 5 scenario where they could have eliminated the Grizzlies? Or was it the Warriors winning 3 straight?
I mean, all of them were fascinating for their own reasons, but
right.
I mean, you got to start with the Bucks. You have to start like a number 1 seed losing to an 8 seed in the first round in the NBA playoffs just doesn't happen very often. And in this case, you weren't just losing to an 8 seed. You're losing to a Miami Heat team that had a losing record, 40-42, that had to make the playoffs through the play-in tournament.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That lost Tyler Hero, their second best scorer, along the way in the series. That didn't have that much firepower to begin with, that just wasn't that good. And they just knocked out the Bucks, who won the championship just 2 years ago and have a 2-time MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo. And, you know, listen, there's the unsightliness of it all, losing in 5 games besides, not even being able to extend the series as I was certain they would. You know, not calling timeout, you know, at the end of regulation there, when you had a moment to advance the ball and set a play,
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything, every aspect of it, not even getting a shot off at the end of overtime either. Like,
yeah.
It was just a disaster on every level. There's going to be consequences because there always are in this league, especially if you're a team with you know, legitimate championship expectations to go down that way. They have a very long and tough offseason ahead of them.
He's the host of the Locked On NBA podcast. Follow him on Twitter at Howard Beck. Joining the Rich Eisen Show, Kirk Morrison here filling in for Rich. So Milwaukee is out, but it does set up an intriguing matchup, one that everybody's excited. I know the guys here, we're excited about a Eastern Conference semifinal matchup between the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks, bringing us back to our NBA Jam days, right? The 90s basketball is going to be alive and well when it comes to the Heat and Knicks. How impressed are you with the Knicks just getting out of the first round and getting to that second round, something they haven't done since 2013?
Yeah, really impressive. The whole season by the Knicks has been pretty impressive. There were times earlier this season where it looked like, you know, they're going to hover around 500. They're going to have a good, solid season. Maybe they grab the 6th seed. Maybe they're a play-in team. And really, ever since they picked up Josh Hart in a really smart trade with the Trailblazers in the middle of the season, they've just taken off and have reached a whole new level. And I think what's so impressive is this is not, you know, by most standards, the traditional build of an NBA power, right? Like, this is not a star-laden team. This is not a team with you know, an MVP candidate and a bunch of all-NBA guys on it or anything. It's like Jalen Brunson was a second-round pick who developed with the Mavericks, who chose to leave them for the Knicks, who the Knicks people questioned whether they were overpaying for him, and the guy has just been an absolute stud. Didn't make the All-Star team, probably won't end up on any of the All-NBA teams when those are announced. But Jalen Brunson's playing like a top 10 point guard. Julius Randle, who might make All-NBA again, is very up and down, didn't have a great series, got hurt again in their closeout game last night, but they just play tough. They play way beyond what their names would suggest or their resumes would suggest. And that, in a lot of ways, like, is reminiscent of those 90s Knicks teams. Like, outside of Patrick Ewing, it's not like they had a ton of high-level talent to go toe-to-toe with the Bulls or the Pacers or anybody else. Mm-hmm. So in a lot of ways, this Knicks team and this Heat team that they're going to face, you know, it's a little like the 90s. And Jimmy Butler, like Jalen Brunson, you know, a guy who's just kind of a self-made guy, not, you know, didn't come into the league with high expectations or with, you know, jump out of the gym type of athleticism. This is going to be a cage match, I assume.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.